Hi, I'm Rachel Andrew. I'm a pelvic health physiotherapist, and I'm going to talk to you about pelvic health physiotherapy and you. Hi, I'm founder of Pelvic Physio and co-founder of the Genius Training that does pelvic health training for GPs and other health professionals, including a unit on pelvic pain and endometriosis and adenomyosis. I'm a titled pelvic health physiotherapist and I focus on treating women and those assigned female at birth with persistent pelvic pain and endometriosis. My passion has always been treating pelvic pain, and another passion is knitting. And here's a picture of me with my crocheted vulva that my mum made me when I first started out in business. So I'm going to talk to you today about my top tips and strategies and why. So the why really is anatomy. So if you understand what's going on in your pelvis a little bit more, it does help you understand why you have some of the symptoms that you're having. I'm going to talk to you about how to go to the toilet, a strategy for pain flares, some of the tools we teach you and why. So some of the reasons for pelvic floor muscle tension in endometriosis, adenomyosis, and persistent pelvic pain is pain. So pain causes protective muscle spasm. You know, if someone goes to slap you in your face, you go, your pelvic floor muscles are doing that all the time. And unfortunately, pain causes protective muscle spasm, which then causes more pain. So periods, when you have your period, your body releases this inflammatory substance which helps your uterus spasm and cramp down to empty of blood, but it also causes pelvic floor muscle spasm. So that especially becomes a problem in endo because you might be bleeding more, you might be bleeding more often. And so you're having these pelvic floor muscle cramps more often than you would. Practice, your body gets really good at holding these muscles short and tight. So they almost forget how to relax and open. And that's part of what we work with you as physios. We teach you to teach your body how to be more relaxed and open in these muscles. And irritation. So some of these structures, they're wrapping around the bladder, they're wrapping around the bowel. And if you have an irritable bladder, or if you have bladder pain syndrome, if you have an irritable bowel, all the nerves and fibers cross into the muscles and through the muscles, and they all talk to each other. So irritation of those structures causes irritation of the pelvic floor muscles too. And I've included some pictures here for those of you who are anatomy nerds or you'd like to know a bit more about how complicated it is. You can see how all the muscles wrap in and around the different structures. The one on your right is looking down into the pelvis. Then there's one in the middle that's sort of includes the hip muscles as well as the tailbone, and it's looking at it from the back to the front. And then there's a picture that includes the clitoris, and you can see how closely related that is to muscles as well. So when we're thinking about going to the toilet, there's relaxation, but there's also coordination that's really important. So one of the things I want you to do is to use a stool, pun intended, or 2 toilet rolls for your feet, because having your feet elevated sort of puts everything in the right position. I want you to try leaning forwards, or sometimes it actually feels easier to relax and open if you're leaning back. Relax your tummy and breathe into your lower tummy Some people even think about, you know, those French press coffee machines that push down like that. Some people use that imagery to think about pushing down. You can also try through your teeth like a snake, and that helps the muscles coordinate but also let go. And if you really feel like you're pooing against a shut door, or you can't let go to have a good poo, push upwards over your vulva. It really helps your anus to relax and open. So another position that can be really useful for if you're having pain is a squat. So if it's hard for you to squat, you can have a chair behind you and lean your elbows on it so you're in the squat position but you've got some support. You can sit up on pillows like I'm doing here, but it's really useful before going to the toilet if you find it hard to empty your bladder or your bowels easily. You can use it after the toilet. If after you've emptied your bladder or your bowels you get some cramping, and this is a position that you can do quietly in private, like you can even do it in a public toilet. It's also really great if you get those lightning butt cramps or vaginal stabbing or cramping feeling, which is a really common symptom with endo. You're definitely not alone. It is a thing. Thank you for listening. I hope you've enjoyed learning a bit more about your anatomy, how to go to the toilet, some flare positions, and what pelvic health physiotherapy does. Some of the things we do are keeping you moving, treating your pelvic floor, and empowering you to look after your own health.